And the joy continues, for I am here, bringing hope and cheer. Now I'll ask you, my friend, do you really have to speak in tongues to get this joy? And I'll answer it just like I answer the other questions. No, you do not have to speak in tongues to get this joy, but it helps. And it helps some people more than it does others. It depends upon the stress that you have in your life. Speaking in tongues helps to deal with that stress and helps to release it. Of course, you have to know how to do it, and you have to do it correctly. You know, it's just not a matter of just starting to throw out gibberish. You have to know how to release the stress through the tongues, and you have to have the correct image in mind. You have to know where to look. You have to know who God is, and it helps, as I always say. You don't have you have. It helps to know who Jesus is. The more you know about Jesus, the more that helps. And do you have to speak in tongues to go to heaven? No, you do not. You certainly do not. But again, it helps. So let me get this where I can see it better. It does help. And so I am going to continue to teach you how to speak in tongues, just in case, you know, you have a very stressful life and you want to try that form of release. Now, you can try TM. I have done that, and I do that, still do that some, transcendental meditation. You can try just getting quiet and just praying. Or you can try getting into a reflective spirit. You can try writing poetry. You can try doing paintings. Those things also release stress. But you may also want to try speaking in tongues. And so I will try to explain it to you on the coming videos. I'm going to go through this all step by step. So one of the things I'm going to do is teach you how to get joy. The second thing I'm going to do is teach you how to have healing. And the third thing is how to be a healer. And then the fourth thing is how to speak in tongues to release stress, and all the other, and also all the other ways to release stress. And then after that, I'm going to get into teaching you about all the problems that are going on in the world today, and how to deal with those, and how to not let the news affect you in the wrong way. You know, how to listen to the news in order to educate yourself, but not to let it affect you in the wrong way. You will be having to speak in tongues a lot if you listen to the news every day. If you leave it on there, whatever, on the news channel all the time, you better know how to speak in tongues. I can tell you that, because you're going to have a lot of stress. And so, but not if you have this joy, because actually the news will provide you with greater joy and energy, because you know that you are like an angel in this world. You are here to deal with all this, and you have the energy and the power and the healing force and the divine force to deal with it. And so it indicates your mission. Every time you hear the news, you get a new call to your mission. And so it's a call. When you have a call to a mission, then that is energizing, and that no longer is stressful. And so, but it does help to do these other types of exercises to release stress. And so this is very important to know, that we want to know all of the methods that there are of releasing stress. And so I've told you, you don't have to speak in tongues to be a child of God. You don't have to speak in tongues to go to heaven. You don't have to speak in tongues to heal people. But all of those things can be helped by speaking in tongues. It can be helped some if you do it correctly. And so we want to continue to delve into all the spiritual techniques that help us. And speaking in tongues is one of those things that that you can do on occasion. I like to do it every day because I mean it's just pure and simple. Whether it do, whatever it does, I don't worry about whatever it does. I just try it, and then I find out when I get through doing it that all of a sudden I feel healthier and I feel more energetic and I feel more peaceful. And what it does is it enables you, it makes you believe more in heaven. You don't have to speak in tongues to go to heaven, but it makes you believe more in heaven, and it makes you believe more in God, and it makes you know more about God, God's blessings, and you because you're feeling the effects of it. And so I like to have a demonstrable religion. I don't like to just have a religion that I'm just going over certain tenets all the time or just going through certain organizational procedures. I like to have a religion that actually changes things in my body and changes things in my life and actually affects me and actually heals me and actually relieves me of stress. And like I say, you won't know. Some people will notice the difference a whole lot more when they speak in tongues than other people will, because those people relate to that type of thing more. And they also have more stress in their life that needs to be released. So when that stress is released, it gives you an overwhelming sense of happiness and joy. So we don't want to poo-poo that, I mean, if you become so strong that you don't need to speak in tongues, well, praise the Lord for you. I mean, I'm glad for you, that you don't have to do that to release stress, that you got other ways of doing it. But I wouldn't criticize those people who do speak in tongues, because it may be doing a lot of good for them. And so I would like for people to understand the procedure, and that's all. Now, we will go on with the teaching, because I have so many things to teach you. And I want you to put in the comments what problem in the world you're dealing with and what problem in the world you want me to address in future videos. And any spiritual difficulty, anything about healing, or anything about the world's problems or the government problems or the problems on the border, the problems in the Middle East, or anything that you want me to make a video about or make a series of lessons about, go ahead and put those in the comments. Okay, we so quickly run out of time, so I'll say peace and happiness and joy to you and love throughout the world. Talk to you in a little bit again.